Rappers with successful YouTube channels. This is something we've been seeing a lot of lately. I don't know if it's from rappers hanging around all these YouTubers and getting influenced, or if they always wanted to make vids. But first, we got NLE Choppa. Born November 1st, 2002, grew up in Memphis. At 15 was when he really started rapping. When bro used to be at school, he would freestyle with the bros, and it ain't take long for him to actually rap. Cause 1 year later, he decided to take it serious. I guess he realized he was decent at it and took the opportunity. But it was something different with NLE compared to most rappers. He told his mama he wanted to rap, and she jumped right on that. As soon as he told her, she started managing bro. Meaning just a little after she started managing him, NLE dropped his first song in March 2018. And just a few months after that, he dropped his first tape in June, No Love Takeover. But in December of that year is where everything changed. So around this time, he was rapping with a group of dudes, and they ended up dropping a cypher, like how XXL do. A lot of niggas on one song taking turns rapping, and you can probably see where this going. On that song, it was one rapper who stood out more than anybody else, NLE Choppa. People seen bro had all this energy, and at the time had the best verse, which in turn brought some buzz. And it ain't take long for that buzz to change his life, cause soon after that cypher, he dropped a song that would change everything. Shot of Flow. This the song that really put the word on Choppa. A month after the song dropped, it was already at 10 million views, and Pitchfork was writing reviews on bro. Now look, the song was doing good, but what really took it to the next level was when Lyrical Lemonade dropped the video. But the Lyrical Lemonade version had a feature on it, one we all know too well, Blueface. This was bigger than the original and put the song back in the spotlight months after it came out. But in between the release of the original song and the Lyrical Lemonade, NLE was making moves. He dropped Shot of Flow 2, and that blew up. And with all this success coming toward him, it was only a matter of time before the labels started to get at him. The labels was really going to war over Choppa. Everybody was trying to outbid each other, and one label even threw $3 million on the table. But Choppa and his mama knew exactly what they was doing. They had all this planned out, and after declining all these labels, they finally settled with United Masters. But this wasn't no normal sign. They signed to United under one condition: Chop keeps his master recordings and publish. And if you don't know what this means in simple terms, he owns and controls all his music, meaning the royalties go to him and not the label. This is a big deal because most artists that you listen to will never own their masters. And it's been so many times where artists fought with their labels over their masters and never got them. But it ain't take long for Chop to release another hit. Throughout 2019, he was dropping decent songs, but it was one that stood out more than all the others: Camelot. This drop, and like with the other songs he was dropping, blew up, peaking at number 37 on the charts. And it's crazy if you really think about it. At the time, Chop had been rapping for a little over a year. He started in March of 2018, and in September of 2019, he had 2 songs that was in the top 40 platinum song, and signed a deal that was gonna make him money for the rest of his life. But 2020 started out just as good for bro. The first few months was slow because you know how the world was at the time. But he was an XXL freshman and dropped his debut album this year. 2020 was more than just a year of music for Chop. He made the decision that put him in this video. August 31st, 2020, weeks after dropping his debut album, he made his YouTube channel. And at first, it was just him living his life. Because if you remember at the time, it was when he first started doing the whole positive Chop herb life, living off plants. So his whole channel was just that, positivity in nature. But slowly his content started to change. I'm pretty sure this is because he was hanging around a lot of content creators and they was helping him out and just giving them flags in the right direction. Pranking, editing speed almost gone wrong. Polo G and I robbed the bank gone right. Chop was going crazy. He was learning. And if you look at his channel now, his vids definitely be pulling. Most of his vids normally touch a mil or at least 500,000. And bro is almost at 1.5 million subs. So you really gotta respect him in his YouTube scene. Because even if you come into YouTube with a following, if you don't know what you're doing, the views gonna go down eventually. But with Chop, his views just been going up. But next up, we got a name. You may have some bad feelings toward it, but this video not about that, so keep it out my comments. Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez, born in 1992 in Brampton, Ontario. His family was originally from Montreal. And once again, they eventually moved to Florida. But it was something different about his life. His pops ain't have a regular job. He was a minister, which caused him to have to move around 24/7. So bro was really moving around the whole country and eventually landed in Atlanta, where he met a friend of his, Keem. Keem is important because he was the one who gave Tory his rap name. They said Tory used to be doing shit. He used to play in traffic, and Keem basically told him, we gonna call you Lanez. But in 2006 is where his life started to get bad. During this time, he was bad. Like, bro was getting in trouble all the time. And it even got so bad to the point where his parents didn't even want to take care of him anymore. So they sent him to his cousin's house. After that didn't work out, they tried to send him back to Toronto to stay with his grandma. But Tory was so bad, his grandma ain't even want to take care of him. So at age 15, after no one wanted to take care of him, he had to live on the streets. And he said himself, it was rough. He was really fighting to live, but somehow had time to record some music. And by the time he was in 10th grade, he dropped out and just started performing wherever he could. And for years he dropped music, but ain't started getting no real traction until 2013 from his tape, Conflicts of My Soul, the 416 story. 2 years after this tape, he ended up signing to Benny Blanco through Interscope. And 2015 was really a good year for Tory, if we're being honest. He signed, dropped his debut album, and was actually growing. But Tory didn't slow down. He kept dropping music, and on Christmas 2015, this nigga dropped 2 tapes in the same day, pretty much starting off 2016 right. Because just a few weeks after dropping these 2 tapes, Chicks Tape 3 in the New Toronto, he ended up performing on Jimmy Kimmel. Then the rest of that year was just filled with new highs. He was performing 24/7 at all the festivals and even had a tour going on. And you're probably wondering, was he ever XXL freshman? No, on some high ego shit, he said he declined XXL because he knew that his music was miles better than everybody else on the list. And over the next few years, he grew more and more and eventually became a mainstream artist. But 2020 was the first time the world started to look at him sideways, the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation. Not gonna go into detail about that because we all know what went down and YouTube will probably demonetize, but that caused his career to slow down. But even though Tory Lanez had all this going on, it was still something else going on. 2021, 2020 was really like a streamer renaissance. All these streamers in the hip hop community was blowing up, and a new format came to YouTube with the whole live channels. And Tory being about that bag, he hopped on it. And on May 3rd, 2022, Tory started his YouTube channel, Tory Live. He seen that opportunity and took it. And right now at over 79,000 subs, he was really on the road to becoming something big. He would make songs on stream, freestyle, collab with artists, play games. He was really doing everything and it was working for him because during that whole time, you would see him on your TikTok having freestyles come out, having freestyles go viral. Tory streams and his channel was really getting buzz at that time. But all that got cut short when he went to prison at the start of this year. Who knows? Was this the last Tory Lanez video we'll ever get? But someone we know we'll get a video from is Yungeen Ace, born February 12, 1998 in Chicago, but real early in his life moved to Florida. And that's what he claimed today. And also when a lot of people that they think about Florida artists, he one that come to mind a lot. He was real close friends with a rapper who passed away last year, Jaden Youngeen. But Ace's life was crazy. He was one of 12 siblings, and that's a rapper whose life been crazy before and after the fame. So growing up in Jacksonville, he was surrounded by everything crazy, crimes, death, all that. But 2018 is where it really started to get crazy. 2018 was the year that would change his life. Early into that year was when he first started rapping. And after rapping for a while, one day came that's gonna affect him for the rest of his life. So this day was his homeboy birthday. And at first they wasn't gonna go nowhere. And something they said was they never went out because they knew what kind of problems they had in the street. But this day, he just wanted to go out so bad and he just felt like they deserved it. And this decision is probably what made the situation hurt him even more because it was his idea to go out to eat this day. So Ace picked a spot and everybody get in the car, his friend and his 2 brothers. But one of these brothers was really like his best friend. They was close, they always did everything together, they was always together. If you're really looking at it, this one's life just got started. He just got out of high school a few weeks before this whole situation. So they out just having a good time, enjoying their night until it all went wrong. Car pulled up beside him and just started letting it go. Everybody passed that night except Yungeen Ace. He was hit 8 times and barely survived. But it was one person who was by his side and it had his girlfriend. So right after everything went down, his GF stayed around the corner from where he was at. And in the interview, he was basically saying that he got shot in his hand because he was texting her, telling her where he was at as soon as it happened. And so when she found out what happened, she rushed there and got to him before the ambulance even got there. So think about it. He just got hit. Everybody around him got hit. And his girl there patching him up, wrapping his legs up, trying to make sure his brothers was all right. Like, she was a real one. But after everything went down and he was in the hospital, he said he started feeling crazy survivor's guilt. And this situation brought him survivor's guilt and also brought him bad PTSD. Then to make it all worse, like I said earlier, he started to feel like everything was his fault because he made the decision to go out that day. But after this real sad situation, his career was still going up. He said even though he got all this fame and money, it still don't feel right sometimes because his brother's not with him. But there was one more thing. I ain't mentioned about 2018. It was the year he started his YouTube channel. Not just him though. Him and the girlfriend that saved him. They started this channel all the way back at the start of January 2018. And back then they was just doing challenges and they never stopped uploading to that channel. And are closing on 1 million subs, 932,000 to be exact. The story really crazy. She was the first one by his side when he was at his lowest and still by his side to this day. Now, this next artist is someone who friends with literally everybody I done spoke about in this video. Toosii, an artist who spent the first 17 years of his life in New York and been recording music since he was about 16. But after this, it got rough. He was young and just trying to figure out how to get his life going and sadly ended up homeless for a while trying to get this music situation together. But eventually in 2019, it happened. He blew up. He dropped the song Red Lights and it went crazy. Then not too long after that, he dropped his first tape. Who that? Then a year after that, he dropped his next tape, Platinum Heart. But once again, this is another artist who followed the whole streamer trend. March 2021 was when he started to take streaming kind of serious. And really for like 2 years, Toosii was just streaming Warzone and just chatting without uploading no videos until about 8 months ago. This is when he decided to make the YouTube channel. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like he really big, but he uploaded a few videos and hit 20K. So if he came back, it could probably go crazy. But this next artist, this really an honorable mention. He may not have had a real successful YouTube channel, but his YouTube story was crazy. Baby Keem, born October 22nd, 2000 in Carson, California, cousin to Kendrick Lamar, spent some of his early life near and around studios and watching his family burn music on the CDs, on LimeWire, all that, and really getting influenced by the music that they listened to. And one of his core memories about music was back when he first heard 808s and Heartbreak on the radio. Then all the different classic albums that dropped around this time just kept pulling him more and more into the music scene until eventually in 2014, he started uploading music himself. But in between those years, Keem had something going on. He had a hobby he wanted to turn into something more. So bro started making videos, Minecraft videos to be exact. Back in 2012, he started his first channel, Almighty Mods. Little nigga was on YouTube just playing Minecraft and doing mod showcases. But the Almighty Mods channel ain't last that long, because a while after he made this one, he made another channel. That's Carter. But he only uploaded 2 vids on this. This next one though is how people really discovered this channel. He made a channel that went by the name Keem HD. Now most videos from this channel got cooked off the internet, but some still up. He used to be on there playing Hunger Games, and if you didn't know, that was the Fortnite before Fortnite. But he uploaded this channel for a while until I guess his love for Minecraft went away, because this nigga made another channel, Beats by Carter. He was on there uploading some tight beats, and that was really the last of his channel. I wouldn't be surprised if Keem started a channel one day and actually took it serious. On the topic of serious, my last video went into detail about how designers' mental health put him in a serious case with the law.